Welcome to Binging.
Dragon!
What is going on, mi gente? Welcome back to Binging Dragons, and man, is it good to be back. As you've probably noticed, those of you that follow the podcast page, I have not been able to record any of the podcast episodes. I wanted to record um, episodes for the Rings of Power, but I had the worst mouth sore. If you follow me on anywhere like TikTok or Instagram or Threads, you will know you've known that I had the worst mouth sore ever, close to like my throat area. And honestly, I don't wish that on anyone. It was one of the worst things ever. I could barely speak. I could barely eat. I was miserable. So that took me out for like 2 weeks. Um, but yes, we are back. Binging Dragons is back. I will talk about Rings of Power here in a few minutes. We will definitely talk about it. But today's episode is a really cool one. It's the first episode covering like weekly geek culture news. Actually, that's how I titled it. Um, so expect every Sunday. I think I might try to do that. Um and I'm over here trying to check that everything is working on YouTube. So yes, people, if you don't know, we are live right now. This will be a live recorded episode. Um so yes, as I was saying, the episodes will be recorded. Uh, I'm sorry, every Sunday. I plan on doing episodes talking about. Um, oh shoot, we have people on. Let me move this. Let me see if I can do that. I don't know if I can. Shoot. Anyways, yes, every Sunday I will try to do. Not will. I will. I'm not gonna try. I will do it. That's what I meant to say. um, cover every like geek culture news, the ones that like catch my attention the most. Because doing this, I made a really cool slide for you guys. Man, it's been years since I've done a PowerPoint. um, thank God it's easier nowadays, honestly. Um, but yes, there's too much news, too much content out there. So going through all of it started to get a little bit stressful. uh, but I just chose the ones that caught my attention the most, had me most excited, and sadly I left a few. um, but I do plan on having you guys um, comment at the end. I want to do somewhat of a, I don't know, like a segment, and that way I can include you guys in case there is some news that I did not talk about here on the episode. Um, and that way, yeah, we can bring it up. Maybe I missed it, um, or whatever. I'm just hoping for you guys to also be involved in this. I did not get to promote this episode as much as I wanted, but it's the first one. I'm not expecting a lot of people to join here. So, with that being said, uh, what the hell is this? Can you guys hear me? Yeah, okay, you guys can hear me. Seems like you can. Let's bring this down here because supposedly I'm also live on Instagram. I don't know how that works really because it says I'm live, but yeah. Oh well, it seems like it is working. That is weird. I don't know. Whatever. I'll keep this open just in case over on Instagram. Um anyways, let's start off using uh Oh shoot, I moved everything over here. I should have not moved things. Let's see. I had it all. Shoot. Okay, I'm gonna bring things back over here. It's easier. Okay, this is the slide that I made for you guys. I hope that you all like it. um, Again, I'm going to be calling it the weekly geek culture news, um, and that way I can kind of guide myself. Actually, this is pretty nice. I can even move the slides as we go over here. And I can already see this thing kind of messed up a little bit. Let me see. Uh, what do you guys think? Maybe this one might look a little bit better. I'm not sure. Uh, hmm, I don't know. Let's keep it over here for now. Um, yeah, because as you guys can see, it moved my, of course, it moved the text. Whatever. We'll live. We'll be able to go through this. Did it do it for all of them? Yes, it did it for all of them. Damn it. Uh, Whatever. You guys can see what. Well, first thing that I want to start with is talking about movies. Actually, no, that wasn't the first. Was that the? Yeah, that is the first slide. Um, Before I get into more of the geek culture news, um, I would like to start these episodes by telling you guys some of the movies that will be releasing uh, the upcoming week. In this case, I included both the ones from this last week, or like this weekend, and I will on the next slide include the ones from next week, just because it's the first episode, and that way I can kind of like from next week on, it'll always be. The upcoming week and the upcoming releases for the next week. Um, so yes, this week we had three. At least these were the three movies that really caught my attention, and I was more, I would say, more interested in. Um, if there are some, may, there might be movies that aren't obviously not here, but it doesn't mean that I saw the trailer or heard about it and just did not want to put it in there, which could be the case. But there's also the chance that I just did not know that X or Y movie was coming out. But yes, I would say the highlight for this week, Speak No Evil, Killer's Game, and My Old Ass, which sadly, I'll start off with My Old Ass. Sadly, is a it's a film that was not how do you say, a worldwide release. It was a very limited release. I'm hoping that at some point we will get more theaters to add My Old Ass to their yeah, to their showings, because I have been hearing really good stuff in regards to that movie. And Yeah, I believe it was shown at Sundance, and yeah, there's a lot of people that I follow that did go to Sundance, and they had, man, really high praises for that movie. Killer's Game. Honestly, I don't know much about it. Um, I just know I found out about this movie like 2 weeks ago, I think. So there's really not a whole lot. I would say it's an action movie. Um, uh, yeah, I don't know. I really don't know a whole bunch about this one. Now, Speak No Evil. Speak No Evil will finally, it not only marks the beginning of a what seems to be a pretty good movie, but it also marks the ending of having to watch for the hundredth time the trailer. Because if you guys go to the movies, you know that they probably played Speak No Evil trailer more than, man, more than anything at least this last year. They were playing Speak No Evil, even for like showings like Transformers, which no, I'm messing with you, um, but yeah. Anyways, Speak No Evil. That's I would say that's like the highlight of this week with James McAvoy, and yeah, I've been hearing pretty good things about it, and I'm excited for it. Um, Now let's move on to the next thing. Films that release next week. Again, next week I will. Next Sunday I'm gonna mix both of these slides and just keep one of them, um, because yeah, it's yeah, whatever. And then from next week on, it'll always be the upcoming films slide. So next week we have Transformers 1, which by the way, I got to watch it yesterday, so I can talk about it here for a little bit. Um, because they AMC did, I think Regal had it as well. They had like an early access showing for it. And yeah, they were showing it, and I think it was only at 5 p.m. That was literally the only, like everywhere where they had the early access screening, it was only at 5 p.m. Now, I put this here, and I know, yeah, it's also Transformers. Sorry, it's also Transformers 1, but I put it here because there's a special fan event on September 18. I think that's Thursday. Let me see over here. Actually, no, that's Wednesday. So on Wednesday, the 18th, they will have, at least AMC will have. I'm sure Regal will probably have it as well. But make sure you check that out if you are wanting to watch Transformers 1 and have that day off or something, because a lot of times at fan events they'll give you like posters or keychains or very cool just memorabilia. um, and then the other two movies, well, one of them it's a movie and the other one is more like a documentary. The first one being Never Let Go with Halle Berry. um, let's see, from what I have gathered, Never Let Go, and I'm gonna just give you the synopsis from IMDb. Uh, it says a family that has been haunted by an evil spirit for years. Their safety and their surroundings come into questions when one of the children questions if the evil is real. It sounds interesting. And I mean, it's Halle Berry. I have not watched the trailer, so yeah, I'm not sure if it looks good or not. Um, with that being said, the other one is the Superman movie, a story about Christopher Reeves, or Reeve. This, I watched the trailer for it the other day when we went to watch Beetlejuice, and it's sad. It's really, for those of you that, yeah, know the story of Christopher Reeve, the first Superman. That is really really sad. Um, he was this super healthy person playing Superman, the peak of his career, and he fell while riding a horse. And after that, and this is, if anyone knows about this more, you can let me know in the comments. But this is pretty much all that I know. But yeah, he falls from the horse, um, and ends up paralyzed pretty much. I think from like the neck down or something like that. It's horrible. It's horrible. Watching the trailer, man, had me like in tears almost. Really, I was like teary eyed. But yes, these are the movies coming out next week. Transformers 1. And this is going to be spoiler free. This is not a spoiler or full spoiler review. This is just going to be like to let you guys know what I thought about the movie. I had a really, really good time with this. Now, with that being said, I thought the movie was good, and the animation is incredible. The animation is incredible. Don't If you've heard about it, believe it. The animation in this movie is really, really good. Um, they just keep getting better and better and better with animation nowadays. But I will say the first half of the movie, if you've watched my TikTok video on it, you sort of have an idea already of what I'm gonna say. But the first half of the movie, I was a little bit scared. I was nervous. I was a little bit worried that I was not going to like the movie because, man, yes, there were some fun moments, but I wasn't really like connecting with the characters and the story in general. Like, yes, there were things that again were fun and just had me a little bit engaged, but I was starting to kind of question myself of like, man, should I like is this gonna be good? um this is totally gonna be a miss by the end. um but fear not, by the end of the movie, like the second half of the movie, and more specifically, maybe like the last 30 minutes of the movie, are really, really good. And it just gets better and better in the second half. There's a moment where things click, and you start. I felt more engaged with the story. I don't know. I still, and I said this on my video yesterday, I still can't really pinpoint as to what it was. I don't know if it was like the acting, the voice acting sometimes, which Chris Hemsworth did a really, really good job. And yeah, I just can't really pinpoint right now why I felt somewhat disengaged at the beginning of the movie. But yes, overall, with the things that we get at the end, I think it pays off a lot of the things that I was sort of questioning and whatnot early through on. So yes, I totally recommend this movie. It's definitely the origin story that we needed, that we sort of missed from the original Transformers live action movies, which I love. Well, the first two, I can't even remember the third one. I just know the first one of of Transformers will always. I feel like it will always be my favorite one. It just felt so ahead of its time. But with that being said, we don't really get a lot of like origin story in those movies. So this one, it pays off big time in regards to that. And like I said in my video, again, the main purpose of this movie is give us that origin story of like the Autobots and all that. So yes, and obviously Megatron and Optimus Prime. Uh, so yes, if you're considering watching this movie, please do watch it. If you can, go to the movies and watch it because it's a fun time. And if you have kids, they're gonna have a really, really good time. And if you're a fan of Transformers, the Transformers franchise in general, I think you will leave the the theater being really satisfied. Um, okay, now let's move on to the next thing. I can't even remember the next things that are. Okay, obviously, I remember the things that are to come. I just can't remember exactly on which slide, which. Uh, yeah, I can't remember the order of the slides. So yeah, I might be surprised as you guys on this one. Oh, okay, okay. So this week, sadly, the incredible legend James Earl Jones passed away. Sadly, the iconic voice of Darth Vader and Mufasa and many other things. Yeah, he passed away. I believe he was 93 years old. So yeah, it wasn't really. It's one of those things, where you're not shocked because obviously this person lived like a lot of years. Um, but it's one of those things that you, you will never. It don't matter if he lived to be 120 years old. He is such a legend that you just it hits you, you know. So, and I wasn't even the biggest fan of I'm not even the biggest fan of Star Wars. I like Star Wars. I have a good time. The fandom can be, I have enough with a lot of the toxic fandom in like the Game of Thrones universe and House of the Dragon and all of that. Um so a lot of times I kind of stay back a little bit when it comes to Star Wars, but I enjoy Star Wars in general. I would love to do a rewatch of everything at some point. But anyways, yeah, the incredible James Earl Jones passed away this week, and he will be missed, man. Just such a legend. So rest in peace to James Earl Jones. Uh, Let's go on. Oh, okay. So it's like I was saying, I legit don't know. I can't remember the order of these slides, but there's a new Rings of Power episodes, or Rings of Power, Rings of Power. I can't speak. Episode out. I have not watched it. I will say it's the fifth episode, but I've been hearing really, really good things about it here so far. So yeah, if you guys have been watching, let me know in the comments what you think. There's nobody in the chat right now, so this will probably be a post uh, uh, after it's posted. So far I have enjoyed this season. I feel like season 2 it has been way better than season 1, and I do not say that as a jab, or I'm not taking any, you know, any jabs at the Rings of Power, because um I have loved the first season. I loved the first season, and it was a slow burner. Oh dang, Nessie is here, and Jackie J. Oh dang! So it says there's nobody here, so that's why I was like, well, there's nobody here. It said zero people on on YouTube. Let me see. Yeah, there's I don't know. This is weird as always, but I'm glad you guys are there. I'm sorry, I did not mean to. Honestly, I thought it was just gonna be myself. Um, So yeah, thank you guys for being here. Yeah, I hope you guys are doing great. Jackie J says, "Hi Ruben, glad I could catch the podcast." Yes, I'm glad you guys are here too. Again, this thing just says there's zero people in here, so I didn't mean to make you guys comment. um, so yeah, that was funny. Anyways, the Rings of Power. I don't know if you guys, Jackie J and Nessie, or if you guys are watching this after the live has posted, but yeah, I've liked season 2 more than season 1. I got a notification, been here a while. Oh man, yeah, YouTube today is acting out just like TikTok does a lot of times. Um, where it'll say zero people and there's quite a few people in there. But anyways, um I need to start the Rings of Power. I keep hearing the hype. Yes, yes. And season 2 has been really good. It's been getting better and better. Season 2 definitely starts off um with the momentum that we got from season 1, because season 1 ends on a on a super high note. So and a big reveal as well. So yes, season 2, I'm excited to watch episode 5, because episode 4, I think that's the one where we got, well, I'm not going to get too spoilery spoilery, I'm not sure. Right now, um but yes, The Rings of Power. I recommend it fully. I think we have like 3 or 4 more episodes. Um, so yeah, I haven't seen it. I'm still reading and watching Game of Thrones. Ooh, that's awesome, Nessie. I love that. Um, so did you finish Fire and Blood already? Because I know you were reading Fire and Blood. Um, and I'm still reading. I'm still on A Dance with Dragons, the last book of A Song of Ice and Fire, and yeah, it's been incredible. Uh, Let's see now. The next slide will be. Oh, we got some big. Speaking about the Game of Thrones universe, we had some big time news when it comes to A Night of the Seven Kingdoms. Um, Filming has officially finished, and it's crazy because this had to have been like one of the fastest productions ever. Um, so yeah, it is set to premiere early 2025, which is wild because Max will also have The Last of Us season 2. So we'll have two incredible shows. I doubt they're going to be going at the same time, but probably one right after the other. So that is going to be really, really interesting. No, Jaharis just got back to King's Landing. That's where I'm at right now. Oh, okay, that's cool. Yeah, yeah. So you're in the chapters of I forget what was it? Something Regency, I think it was, maybe. Um but yeah, you're in the good years of Jaharis and good Queen Alisan. Yeah, those are pretty good chapters. There's a lot of good information in there. Um, so let's see now. Yes, A Night of the Seven Kingdoms and The Last of Us premiering next year is absolutely wild. We are going to be eating good. If you guys are a big fan of HBO, the same way I am. So yes, set to premiere early 2025 because yeah, filming has finished already, and I that means that we should be getting a what happened we should be getting a trailer here soon. Let me see if I can move this in a better way for you guys to see. uh that was a little bit better. uh let's see, yeah, that one's a little bit better. And then I wanted to do the read along reminder. So Nessie says, yes, that's where I'm at. Oh, cool, cool. Yeah, those are very there's a lot of information in those. There's a lot of information in all throughout Fire and Blood. It's just a massive book. And yeah, there's it's good though. I liked it. Um let me do let me remind you guys that I will be doing the read along that is still happening for A Night of the Seven Kingdoms. um I need to set up either a Discord for the podcast or do it. I still don't know exactly how, um or not how, but where to do it. Or I might just do it on TikTok, do live episodes on TikTok. For the read along of A Night of the Seven Kingdoms in preparation for season 1 of A Night of the Seven Kingdoms. It should be pretty fast. It's not a huge book. It's this one over here. It's just 3 stories, 3 novelas, and yeah, that should be interesting. I'm excited for that. That is, oh, by the way, so in Out of the Seven Kingdoms, I believe it's set a century, so 100 years before the events of Game of Thrones. So a lot of the things that are talked about in A Song of Ice and Fire in those first 5 books, a lot of those things, more specifically from like book 3 and 3 down, um, it's what happens in A Night of the Seven Kingdoms. So yeah, let's move on. Yes, we got some big time Spider-Man 4 news, which if you guys have followed me for a good while, you know how big of a fan of Spider-Man I am. And I'm I'm absolutely hyped up for this. Um I'm sorry. I need to move this. Oh, here we go. I should have done this earlier. Event log. Okay. I don't think there's anyone on Instagram right now, but anyways. So yes, Spider-Man 4, we got a possible, well, it seems they were saying that he is officially now the director, Destin Daniel Cretton, but when you read the article, it says that he's in talks to be. Um Maybe it's that they're almost like they're getting ready to finalize a deal um with Destin to be the director. And by the way, Destin Daniel Cretton, he is the director. He was the one that gave us Shang-Chi. For those of you that like me loved the first Shang-Chi movie, that's him. That he was the one uh behind everything. So that means we actually might get some really, really badass moments or fighting scenes um, and and Spider-Man. Also, as far as I know, he was still slated to be the director for Shang-Chi 2. It's been kind of crazy because Destin originally after Shang-Chi 1, he was slotted to be the director of the next Avengers movie. At least the next the you know how we're getting what was that one? Uh it's Doomsday, but before it was Kang Dynasty, I think it was. Um he was going to direct that one, but something happened, and the whole Jonathan Major thing happened as well, I believe. And they decided to put him on Shang-Chi 2. And now he has this. And I also believe I heard that he was also directing Wonder Man, I think it is, which is going to be a show. So there's a lot of on his plate. But Spider-Man 4, incredible director. Um, the filming supposedly is set to begin early 2025. So I'm super hyped up for that. Because, by the way, if you guys don't know this, so one of the main deal, like the biggest thing for Sony to still have the rights over Spider-Man, the Spider-Man franchise or IP, is that they have to release a Spider-Man related movie every shoot, I think it's like every 5 years. Um, so if they were to one day not, or like 1 year or one day wait out so much that they do not make a movie exactly on the fifth year. And if anyone knows a little bit more about this, I could probably look it up now. But um, let's see. Sony needs to release a Spider-Man movie every 5 years. Let's see. If not, they lose the rights for it. If Sony needs to release Spider-Man movies every oh shit, no. It's even worse. It's every 2 years. I think it's based on what it says here. Um no, this person is crazy. Okay, NPR. Sony must commence production on a new Spider Man film within 3 years, 9 months, and release it within 5 years. Okay, so it is 5 years. People need to release, or not people, Sony needs to release movies or Spider Man movies in order to keep the rights for Spider-Man. They need to do it every 5 years. Yo, what's good, Luis Moral? right? It's Luisito, right? Um, what's going on Instagram? Um, so yes, that if they don't do it, they lose the rights, obviously, because you know that Disney is just over here waiting for to hopefully one day be able to get the rights of Spider-Man that way. um and it doesn't have to include a Spider-Man. That's the thing as well. Like it just has to be like within the universe. That's why, we've with for example, with like the Venom movie, I believe that covers the 5-year thing. If I'm not mistaken, I might be. So the other thing is Zendaya is in talks to come back, which, by the way, told or was telling me something about a possible story that we could see. I think it was Nessie when I posted a video about this on TikTok and whatnot, um, where if they bring Zendaya, because I know a lot of people are kind of like, uh, I don't know, the way things ended in No Way Home. I'm kind of cool with not having Zendaya coming back as MJ and blah blah blah. So I don't know. We'll have to see. I'm okay. I'm cool with having Zendaya back. As long as they do something that makes sense, and I trust the writers. Which, by the way, the writers of the other Spider-Man movies, or like Tom Holland's trilogy, will be coming back, and hopefully them and Destin will be able to give us a really compelling story um, with an older Spider-Man. So, and we should be seeing the symbiote suit maybe in this new trilogy for the Tom Holland Spider-Man. So that would be really, really cool. Hopefully it happens because that's big during what's it called? Secret Wars. So yeah. Anyways, moving on. Actually I can move it over here, it says. Yeah. More Spidey news. There's some new images for the upcoming Spider-Man Disney Plus series, which is titled Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. And all I know of this show is I believe this is sort of going this is kind of the origin story of Tom Holland's Spider-Man, which we obviously did not get in what was it? The Infinity Saga. So, but I'm going to corroborate that let's see, Disney Plus. Let's see. See if I can find some information on it. I don't think. And this premieres November 2, by the way. Um, so yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for that. I'm always gonna be excited for Spider-Man stuff. That's my favorite superhero, one of my favorite fictional characters. So it says on IMDb, it says the animated series follows Peter Parker on his way to becoming Spider-Man in the MCU with a journey unlike we've ever seen and a style that celebrates the character's early comic book roots. And we can definitely see that with these both of these images over here. Um, it has more of that comic feeling to it, comic aspect to it. Um, so yeah, just let me know in the comments if you're excited for any. How excited are you for all of this awesome Spider-Man news? And if you will be watching the new your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man series on Disney Plus. Uh, yeah, because it's coming out pretty soon. Um, Keeping things in the superhero genre, the Penguin. Penguin is premiering this week with Colin Farrell, and let's see who else is in it. I can't remember right now, but yeah, it's premiering this week. I am planning on covering the show. So Christine Milioti is going to be there, Clancy Brown, Mark Strong, Rennie Feliz, and the Penguin is going to literally be set a couple days. I believe it's a couple days after the events of the Batman movie, the one with Robert Pattinson. Is that Pattinson or is it Pattison? Robert Pattinson, I think. I can't remember now. So yes, I the plan is to cover the show. So it premieres on Thursday at 9 p.m. But after that, it will be all the other new episodes will be dropping on Sunday night. So it's taking that premiere spot. So this is gonna be premiere television right there. Um and I'm so ready for this. Um let's see, it's like I said, it's also set right after the events of the Batman, which I'm going to try and rewatch. I was going to try and watch it today. It's still kind of early, so I might be able to do it. If not, maybe tomorrow. And I might have someone to cover it with. uh they said they were like down for it, so keep an eye out for that, because yeah, I think you guys will have a good time. um so that's it with the Penguin. Next thing, we got more superhero news. My god, we got a new Venom trailer. um I watched a little bit of it, but the big thing about it is the fact that we will be getting Null, the god of the symbiotes. And that's a big thing because Null is a character that, from my understanding, he is able, uh pretty much, he has found his way in the comics through the multiverse a few times. And actually, in what was it? Thor Love and Thunder, where we get Gore the God Butcher, which, um whatever. He has a blade, if you guys can remember. That blade is literally the necro sword, I think it's called. Um and the necro sword, um is all based off of symbiote, but obviously because of rights and whatever over the IPs and things they can say and not, they did not call it that way. But Norman Reedus, big shocker, will be playing Null. Um, and that's pretty much as I know right now when it comes to Venom 3. I've heard some people say that it looks really good. It might be the best one out of the three. And I've heard some people say as well that they're not entirely sold on it. But you can let me know in the comments what you think. But yeah, it's it's gonna be interesting. I'm definitely watching. At this point, I've watched the first two. The first one has been my favorite one so far. Um, but yeah, we'll see. Uh, Also, before I go to that other slide, for the longest time, Norman Reedus, people were putting him to be like Ghost Rider and whatnot. So I'm wondering if that will ever happen now, um, with Null, him being Null in the Sonyverse, Spider Verse, whatever. Um, because I've got a feeling they might even bring Null into the MCU. Who knows? Secret Wars, it's man, there's a lot of possibilities with Secret Wars whenever that happens. So yeah, we'll see. This one was a big one for me because I don't know about you guys, but there was this really, really cool movie called Constantine. And I think this is now going to be okay, so whenever it comes out, which the script is finished, that was like the big news that came out this week about it. Um it will be like 25 or 26 years since the movie came out. Um, let's see. I'm gonna look up the synopsis for it. But it's such a trip. This movie is really, really good. So it says here on IMDb, says Detective Angela approaches Constantine, a demon hunter, to help her investigate her twin sister's mysterious death. As he digs deeper, he realizes that demons are trying to enter the human world. Believe me, there is so much more to this. Um, and dude, at the time, when was this? 2005. 2005. So almost 20 years actually. I was gonna say I said 25 or 26, but no. It came out in 2005. And yeah, this is this is gonna be interesting. This is gonna be really, really interesting. By the way, I think Constantine is like a it's owned by DC if I'm not mistaken. Uh let's see if I can find ah, I can't I feel like this is yeah, like this is a DC uh franchise or something. It's like in the superhero genre as well. Um but I'm not entirely sure on that. I'll have to I need more another day to check that out. But yes, script is finished. Keanu Reeves is coming back as Constantine. Um, and I can't wait to find out more about this. So I feel like I'm missing something because I, I think, if I'm not mistaken, this is the last slide. Um, for the news. But we got PlayStation 5 Pro was announced. For those of you that love gaming like I do, sadly I don't play as much as I would like to. But I do have a PlayStation 5 and I don't think I will be upgrading anytime soon. Uh, because yes, it should be faster and more efficient in some ways with graphics and whatnot. Yes, he made a cameo in one of the CW shows. Wait. Who? Keanu? Keanu's Constantine, Nessie? I feel like there was, yeah, I think there was a show, a Constantine show, now that you mention it. Yeah. Okay, Constantine. Okay, cool. Yeah, I think they had there was a CW show for Constantine. Yeah, um, not Keanu's, but the character. Okay, gotcha. Uh, but yes, a PS5 Pro. Who it's starting at $700. And it won't include a disk drive, which is wild, especially for me. I'm a big physical media guy. Um, and it says it's going to have a larger GPU. It will have an AI driven upscale thing as well. But man, at this point, like the PS5, the graphics we get with the PS5 look incredible. Like, what else can we get from this? So I don't know. I just yes, I'm sure it's better because yes, they've upgraded a lot of the internal things, but is it worth it for me to just get rid of my PS5 to get this one when it doesn't even have a disk drive? I have to buy it separately, so it'll end up being like 800 and some dollars because yes, obviously you have to add taxes to this as well. Um, it's wild. It's crazy. It's I think I told a buddy of mine, it's like it's the first time I've ever felt like I'm being robbed um by PlayStation. Um so yes, PlayStation 5 Pro. I'm probably just gonna wait for PlayStation 6 and who knows, that'll be in like maybe 4 more years or so. Uh so we'll see. Uh, yeah. Let me know if any of you are gonna get the PlayStation 5 Pro. Let me know in the comments. By the way, remember Spotify. If you listen on Spotify, Spotify now has um uh what's it called? Comments. So make sure to drop those in there as well. Um, So yes, the last slide, it just says, I want to hear from you. So anyone in the chat right now, it's Nessie. I don't know if Jackie J is still around. Because this thing still says there's 0 people in here. Um, but if there's anyone in here, if there's something I missed that you guys were excited about this week, let me know. Um, or yeah, and if not, we're good to just probably call it an episode. And this is perfect. It's at 45 minutes. I said I wanted to do like 45 to an hour. Um, and this falls perfectly. Remember the penguin, nobody says anything. So the penguin comes out this Thursday. Actually, let me bring it up here. Uh, let's see. Oh, there it is. Here we go. So the Penguin comes out this week. I will be covering it, um, and expect a an episode on the Batman as well. Anywhere from like Monday through Wednesday. I really need to do that. Um, expect that. And if I'm not able, then at least know that I will be watching The Penguin and we will be discussing it. When it comes to the Rings of Power, let me bring the Rings of Power around here. Um, I think that I might just do one episode talking about the season in general. So because at this point, yeah, I wasn't able to do the cover for the first like 5 episodes. So at this point, I think it's better to just do a just one episode and cover and talk about our overall thoughts of season 2 of the Rings of Power. Anyways, if that is everything we have, which I think it is, I will probably call this a night, or a day for wherever you guys are listening at. Um, Thank you all so much for joining, Nessie, Jackie J. If there's anyone else in the chat that was listening as well, Luis Morales on Instagram. Um, I see a few people joining. Thank you all for being here today. It looks weird on, I don't know what's happening with Instagram. Instagram is kind of weird, but thank you all for joining on Instagram, on YouTube. This will get better and better. I swear. I promise you guys it will. Um, but expect it. I feel like Sundays are the best days because that way I can kind of pile up on a lot of the news that's like coming out throughout the week, and just give it to you guys. And that way we can have a good, cool discussion here. Uh, Thank you all for following me. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Share with your friends, anyone that just loves geek culture in general. Um, and expect a lot of more content in here. Thank you all again, Nessie, Jackie J. You guys are awesome, and I will see you guys in the next one. Like and subscribe, people. Like and subscribe. You guys have an awesome one. Okay. Bye bye.